This is an exciting time of year. It's starting to get crisp outside, the weather, so it's time to come inside and get after it on the court. For me, it's pretty special. This is the third day of my, first run as a head coach. I've been, I guess, the build up to this, the first practice on Sunday, I've been extremely pleased with our team. I have been here, but things are different. They can elaborate on that a little bit more than I can, probably. I have been very, very pleased with, anytime I've said, okay, I know this is the old way and this is the new way. We have tried to get that done. And I appreciate that a lot. I think our team, I guess if I was looking at buzzwords that as I watch us, that I feel are positives, I think depth is a buzzword that comes to mind to me. I think that we have some organizational depth. I think we're a little bit bigger and more physical at more positions now than what we've been in the past. And, I guess the key is we have to translate that from just being that, bigger and more physical at more positions to actually that impacting us in a positive way. And we are working on that as we speak. Been happy with the leadership. These two have provided some of that, but there's others as well, that have stepped up and are bringing it consistently. So, from a coaching perspective, I've been happy with that as well. So that's kind of my opening statement, I guess. If there's any questions, I don't know where Jason went. Go to questions? Okay. All right. Any questions from anybody?
Coach, I was out of practice this morning for a little bit. It's already high intensity. You guys are getting after it early.
Yeah, we were trying to, and today was the third day in a row, and I told him at the end of practice that, if you think about our rules, we did 6 hours of basketball in the last 3 days. Well, we did 6 hours of basketball prior to today over the course of 3 weeks leading up to today. So were we tired? Yeah, that's a lot different, That's a lot different to smash 6 hours into 3 days where we'd been working that same time frame over 3 weeks. But yeah, I think that's kind of who I am, right?
Yes, I agree.
I don't really pull any punches. So if we're good, I'm going to say we're good. If I want more, I'm going to say I want more. So, but yeah, they were getting after it today, especially the last half. They were probably better than the first. So, when you look at our team, we return a lot of people. We return a lot of minutes. I'm not shy about telling them we have to play better. But there's people out here that have been through it. They have played, in El Paso, Texas. They understand the flight down there. It's tough. They understand it's 2 time zones away. And, so I think, and really going back to the buzzword that I gave you, depth, I think when we got her back, that was probably the thing that gave us depth. We were going to be okay. But now when we got her back, now it's, if you go watch us practice, it's competitive in there. There's more, right? There's more people pushing back. And that's when you get good. And any coach would sit up here and tell you the same thing. If we have people that can push her, our team's better. And for her to come back, the depth that provided, that's going to help us.
Okay, curious, what's the transition like going from not having a coach to you taking over being the coach? And it really was a happy situation because usually when a coach departs, they're either leaving for a new job or they've been shown the door. Here's a situation where it seems like the continuity has continued, and that's been good for this so far.
Yeah, obviously it's unique. It was unique for any one of us, that were involved in that. And I think, quite frankly, all sides that were part of it did a nice job of handling it. There wasn't a lot of uncertainty for anyone involved with our program. And, I think it was a relief when it all got done. And then really from that point forward, we just went to work, It's a lot different. I mean, the chair I'm sitting in now is a lot different than the last one. I've got to get better at delegating things, and I've got a great staff that I'm starting to learn more, just like, here's this, please take care of that for me, so I can concentrate, so I can think about basketball. And probably anybody that sits in a head coaching chair at this level, that's probably the thing that hits them first. It's just there's so many little things that can eat up all your time, and I've learned that. You gotta prioritize, especially this time of year. At the end of the day, we got to get as good as we can get, and a lot of those other things will take care of themselves. Coach Daniel, his brain works really fast. It's a compliment to him. It works really, really fast. He looks out there, and he can cycle through a lot of different things in his mind and go, I got to get to this. I want to get to this matchup really quickly. Okay. I would say the biggest difference in style is I want to try to give them the frameworks to get there themselves, if that makes sense. We're not there yet, but that's what I'm going for, is understand why Shayna or Taliqua I said called this or called that. Where are we trying to get? And we have a ways to go on that, and a lot of that is different terminology a little bit. It's just the difference between old and new. But I'm trying to get them to get with me on some of that stuff. The bigger picture things. It's not you're not running over here. Why? And if we put all those building blocks together, we'll get there. They've done a good job. They get along well. I think that there's obviously going to be some veterans that have a huge impact on what we do. And I think it wouldn't take you long to watch us practice to know that there's some new ones that are going to have a huge impact on what we do. And, the good thing, and going back and talking about depth, is I think it can be a different one. Some nights it'll be some different ones. And, we have to continue, our staff's got to do a good job of bringing everybody along. We got to keep them coming along. And because you never know. You never know when an injury is going to get you. We had a key injury last year that really hurt us, and we've got to keep bringing them along, veteran or new, so that we withstand those things if they happen again. It's a combination of all that. I think that much like our athletic department overall thought that continuity was somewhat important, I did too. So there's continuity with some of them. I trusted them. They're hard workers. I knew what I was getting. So, Coach Malinkovich, Coach Reed are back. Coach Bramlett was back for a while. She got an on-floor coaching spot at SIU Edwardsville. I'm extremely happy for her. I gave her a hug on the way out the door. That's great. She deserves it. She's ready. And then we brought in Coach Pate as associate head coach. She's been a head coach for a number of years. She's been a very good assistant coach over time as well. And then we brought in Brooklyn Cartwright as our Dobo. And they have been very good fits with what we're doing. Smart. They can figure it out. They coach me through some things, which is what you need. As I said, one of the big challenges is just the fires, the amount of little fires, and helping me figure out the ones that are important and the ones that aren't, the ones that they can take care of. That's vital. It's vital. And we're getting better about stuff like that, quite frankly. I mean, that's a process. I'm learning about it. They're learning about me. It's mostly me learning about it. But, we work well together, and there's a good mix of all different skills in that office. They are strong, athletic young women. They are, they have good energy level every day. They're going to be a big part of what we do, and I think one thing that I thought was really important is, these two played a lot. They're sitting up here because if you looked at paper, you would say they're supposed to be sitting up here. They've got to go earn it. They have to do it for me. And they've been great about understanding that. Like you got to go earn it for me. The past is in the past. We got to play better. That's part of it too. Is, we have work to do. We need to be better. That's part of this too. Is continuity was important, but we've got to improve. I wasn't that pleased with where we were. I don't know if you were, probably not. Not really. And I think they understand that. And that's not to say that that's weighing us down, but everyone in here understands that we need to move the needle with Marshall women's basketball. We want to move the needle. Ohio coming in here, that's a big-time women's basketball game. A couple years ago, when we were in the WNIT, that's who we played up there. It was a great game. They're always there for the MAC championship. They will be good again. Obviously getting a Big Ten team to come in here, that's great. And that's something that we're going to continue to try to do. I think across sports, that it's difficult. I'll tell you that. It's hard to get that game, but I'm happy that we got it. Florida down there will be a challenge. That's a good road test, getting us ready for conference play. That will be a similar travel situation than what we'll have. There's a lot of good games on there. Appalachian State, that's a good series to start for us. Longwood will be a good challenge in here for the first game. We need to play well. We need to be ready to go. So, look, we all mature.
Right.
Talik was matured. I've matured. She's matured. They all go through that. So, but I think that, what she talks about and people butting heads, anyone that's ever played on a team, there's a lot of us in there. There's 25 of us. We're not going to get along every day. And I think that's important for them to understand, and one of the things, the Warriors, if you read a lot about the Warriors, they talk about this a lot. Like, they butt heads when they play. They go at each other when they play. You can't tell that when you watch them. But I think and I haven't talked to our team a lot about that, but we're going to talk to a little bit. We have to talk straight to each other. She's got to be able to say, give me the ball. I'm there, I got her. And she's got to be able to go, got you. And I think we're getting closer to that. Right? Is that fair? I think we're getting closer to that. And then some of that openness we got to keep bringing it a little bit. But they're all maturing, and they're starting to understand me more, and hopefully try to force some of that out of them, try to force some of that out of them.